Hi guys, how are you? It's me Paula and welcome back to my channel. I thought today I would just do a bit of a hello, get ready with me and just a bit of a chat. So I am going to be trying, I'm going to have a bit of a play around with the Melt Meurte palette, which I haven't had a chance to use yet. I just love this packaging. So obviously it goes along with the Vida palette. I didn't buy the Vida palette because it wasn't really my colours, but I really for ages wanted this palette, and then about a month ago I bought it, and I just love the colours. They're very grungy. They definitely speak to my when I was 20-year-old and going to like rock clubs and all that. I would have loved this palette. This palette to speak to that side of me 20 years ago. But yeah, so I'm going to do that and just have a little get ready with me and a bit of a chat. Sorry I look so pale, so peaky. Yeah, I'm absolutely shattered as usual. I'm always seem to be coming on here shattered, but we've had an absolute disaster with our heating at the moment. So, oh, right. So, I've got this. I'm not sure whether I should just use up my old concealer, but I bought the Jeffree Star concealer. I've got a little bit left of my Benefit Boying one. Should I try the Jeffree Star one? Yeah, let's try the Jeffree Star one. Haven't used this one before. In fact, I'll prime first. Yeah, so basically, we've had an issue with our heating last week where it wasn't coming on and the water was all going cold, and so I've got one of those kind of gas boiler insurance policies. So on Friday somebody came out to have a look at it, and it was one of those ones where he started coming in and he was like, oh yeah, it'll be easy fix, we'll just bleed the radiators and the pressure will go up. And then of course he came back and he was saying, oh, it's going to be a bit more difficult than that. So after that, he said, I think there's a leak in one of your pipes, and he identified it. We had got a new extension done onto our kitchen a few years ago, and he said, I think it's coming from one of those internal walls. And I said, right, okay. So we listened in, and he said, oh, I like that colour actually. He said, yes, it seems to be coming from that internal wall. And I was like, right, okay, so how do we fix it? And he went, well, we're going to have to take the wall, we're going to have to put a bit of a hole in the wall to get into the pipes. I was like, right, okay, great. So we're going to have to basically go into this wall and have a look at the pipe. And of course, so he did that. He went in, and because he said to me, he said, oh, it could probably be, mice could have got into it. And because we live quite near a field, forest sort of area. And he said that, yeah, about a mouse could have got in and nibbled at it, because that's apparently quite common. So I was like, okay, I'm not massively scared of mice or anything. I'm not really scared of mice, but the idea of a mouse coming and nibbling at my pipes is not good. But anyway, so he went in there, looked at the pipes, and I thought, he'll get it fixed, we'll get it heating, excellent, brilliant. Came back through again, it's a bigger problem. I was like, oh God, what's wrong? It's always when you get work coming up to you going, you think, oh, this is just going to be a disaster. Anyway, so he came back and he said, yeah, this is that. Oh, quite like that Jeffree Star one. So that's Jeffree Star. I can't even read that close. It is C4. It's in C4, and it's one of his concealers in C4. Very pale, very pale. It's not as palest actually, because his palest is almost like white, like a sort of ghost white. But that's that one. I love the so cute. Yeah, so he said, yeah, okay, it's a little bit of a disaster. He said, because there's a big wooden, where you need to get the where we need to get into the pipe, there's a massive wooden pillar over it, like a wooden, like a wooden joist thing, where the elbow of the pipe is, which we need to get into. So I was like, right. So he said, I can't take this down myself, you're gonna have to hire a joiner. So on Friday, I was left trying to phone a joiner to take down this bloody wooden pillar thing, luckily somebody came out really quickly. The guy who came out was so good. He just, he was actually at home with his family, and my husband said, "Oh, try this number." It's somebody he'd used, and the guy was so nice. He was like, "You know what? I'm going to come out and help you." So he's taken down the he took down the wooden plank. My eyes looking so baggy under the eyes, and then. So we're just waiting for parts for the plumbing to get fixed. So basically, for the last week, we've had to like go to my mother-in-law's and mum's for showers and baths, me and the kids. It's been freezing. We've had to like beg, borrow heaters to put around the house because it's freezing. It's absolutely Baltic. Boil kettles for things. Oh, first world problems was but and then on Saturday my toaster went on fire. And on yesterday, and actually I don't really think I have a bruise, I was opening my shed door and it came off and walloped me off the head. So that's the 3 things, doesn't it? They say things come 3. So anyway, so what am I going to do now? So that's foundation and concealer and primer done. I am going to grab where's my Hourglass palette? I love this Hourglass palette. Where is it? Why is it you can never find what you're looking for when you need it? Now, let me see. Just give me a minute. Okay, bought it. I love this. This is one of my favourite things at the moment. Everyone goes on about it. This is the Hourglass, and this is in the Ambient Lighting Edit Ghost. So good, so good. So do the powder. So I'm just going to use this brush here. So yeah, so that was basically my week. So just trying to get makeup and stuff done when you just feel like, oh, I just can't wait to get the hot water and everything back on in our house. I'm going to just mix the number 1 and 2, which is the finishing powders and dim light and diffuse light. I'm just actually going to mix a bit of the 2 together because I quite like it mixed 2 together. I think it gives you an amazing finish, actually, this. Anyway, yeah. So that's been basically my week, and just trying to get on with the usual stuff that you have to get on with. The one bonus of not having hot water was my mum, who is like obsessed with doing washing and ironing. Don't ask. Said to me, "Look, you've got so much on your plate at the moment. And your stuff's not being able to be dry properly because the weather's been bad. You're trying to dry things in a cold house. I'll take all your washing and I'll do it for you." So I was like, yes. So my mum's taken off all my washing, and that's been brilliant. So, I'm ahead of that. So I'm then going to use the blush in Sublime Flush, which is number 6, this one here. I do need to learn how to actually contour. I've been watching some people on YouTube doing the contouring, and it's been really pretty cool. And I've also watched people doing like blush draping. I don't really get the blush draping, I have to say, because I don't know why making your nose look red it would be a good thing. Anyway, so that's that bit there. I'm just going to give it a quick setting spray. And the one I use is Dewy Set by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So, right, okay, so we're going to get on with doing my eyes. Right, so again, it's exciting. I haven't used the Melt palette yet. So what should I do? I have to say I'm probably going to go in with a light one, actually, because to start with as a base. I know some people do the whole thing really dark, but I'm not a massive fan of that. So I'm just going to start off with, actually, which brush will I use? I'll go with this one. My tried and tested Body Shop one that I've had for years. I've got all those new brushes, but you do not find yourself gravitating to ones that you use a lot. So I'm going to go with Calica, which is a nice sort of shimmery gold yellow to start with. Yeah, so yeah, I haven't been much on YouTube this week because I've been so busy, but I have actually noticed a lot. There's been a lot, seems to be, what do they call it? Tea. I mean, spilling the tea on YouTube at the moment, and it seems to be, I mean, when I first started going on to YouTube, which is September this year, I never expected the amount of like scandal that are, I suppose, within the beauty community. And it's like quite interesting because you don't think it's like makeup, it's makeup at the end of the day. And I know people are very passionate about it, which is, we like playing with makeup, we like doing our looks and things like that, but I didn't get this whole thing that would be in the beauty community with people, like commenting on each other, that's, all these sort of things. And the one thing I was looking at today, actually, and somebody I'm, not overly familiar with, because, I really just got into YouTube recently. Actually through my kids, really, because my son's really into sort of watching gamer YouTubers, and then I decided to start watching a bit with him, and then I started seeing, oh, there's a makeup one, I'll have a look at the makeup one, oh, there's a fashion one. And I suppose that's when I really got into the whole unboxing videos that people were doing, and I really enjoyed doing them. So but yeah, so Jaclyn Hill, and I hadn't really heard much about her. I knew she'd done, she'd done some launches with Morphe. I'm gonna now go into, I really wanted to sort of do a navy and maroon look. That's when I got this palette, that's what really drew me. I know a lot of people seem to be drawn more to the greens, but I'm really, really drawn to the navies and the maroons. But I want to go in with more of a lighter blue to start with. So I'm going to go in with Katrina. Is it Katrina? I'm reading upside down, yeah. So yeah, so I decided I know there's a lot of issues with her, apparently, like with her lipstick launch that she did recently. Was about 6 months ago, she launched a lipstick line, and there was something to do with it all being like filled with fuzzy things, or people were worried about the quality of the if things were off, or like out of date or whatever, which obviously weren't out of date, but they were worried with all these like bits of plastic and bits of fluff in the product. Well, that was the stuff that was being reported on the internet anyway, and I think she had to withdraw a lot of product. I think she had to take it off the market. I don't know if she took it off the market. I don't know what happened. I didn't buy the lipstick, so I didn't super follow it. But she then, obviously, she's since then launched I think she's launched a highlighter range, which I actually am quite interested in the highlighter range. I think the highlighters look really nice, but I think they're a bit expensive. I mean, I saw Jeffree Star review them, and he was I know he's friends with Jaclyn Hill, so I suppose that's a bit, you can, but I think he's quite an honest reviewer, I would imagine. So yeah, he was saying that they were really good and he liked them, but I don't know, because I've got Hourglass just now, I don't think I would buy them. But anyway, I watched her video on today, and she hasn't been online for a long time, for over a month. She's been off all social media, and she was just giving an honest account on what things that she'd been going through recently. And I have to say, I found it a very interesting video. I mean, there's so many times when you read about people complaining about Jaclyn Hill, and they're saying that, oh, she's just out for cash grabs, and she's just out for the money and everything. And I actually felt very sorry for her. I mean, I don't know the full story, and I never bought any of her lipsticks, and I don't really follow much about her. But in this video, I did actually feel quite sorry for a lot of what she was going through. She was saying that she'd gone out to LA, and she was finding, she found it very fake out there, and she found people were very judgmental of her, and she felt like she was getting criticized a lot on social media. No matter what she said, she was getting picked up on. And I suppose if you have millions of subscribers, I suppose you're gonna get a certain amount of that, aren't you? It's going to be unavoidable that you're not going to miss out on criticism or trolling, or it probably comes with the territory of being that high up in social media. However, to expect somebody not to feel affected by it, I think that's real unrealistic. And I can understand what people say about not feeding the trolls and just ignoring it and not biting because that's what they want and everything. But it must be difficult, like when you're really getting kind of, well, as she feels, picked on social media. I'm going to go into Noche Eterna, which is the kind of deeper navy. I think this is gorgeous colour. Yeah, I think it must be quite hard when she's, she must feel really picked on in social media. I mean, she was saying she's getting picked on about her weight. She said something about, like, she'd commented on, like, somebody'd compared her to Demi Lovato, and she'd said, I take it as a compliment, and she got like, well, why wouldn't you take it as a compliment? Why, people just immediately snapped on her. And I think that's difficult, because she said she has really struggled with her mental health recently, and she was talking very openly about getting help, seeing a counsellor, a variety of counsellors. I think she was doing a lot of talking therapy, she said. And I felt really bad for her, because I felt like people were commenting about, she's in this for the business, she's in this to make money. And I suppose in a way, of course she's in it to make money. I mean, come on. I mean, she's launching a brand, and would she really? Who can blame her for actually wanting to make a business for herself and make a future for herself and her potential kids in the future? Everyone's got a job, and people don't say, why have you gone to your job? You're just trying to make money. Yeah. So she's obviously that. I don't know. I don't really know too much about Jaclyn Hill to fully comment on her motivations and things like that. But I did feel sorry from what I saw. Anyway, I don't know what you think. Did you watch that? Did you have any feelings about the what she was saying? I mean, some of you might follow her for a long time, and you might be Jaclyn fans, or you might be a bit kind of cautious of what she's saying. You maybe think she's just trying to get sympathy. I don't know. I mean, like I say, I'm just going to try and underline a little bit here with the Notcha Turner. You might think she's maybe driving a little bit for sympathy. I don't know. But I mean, people can make mistakes. Anybody in any industry can make a mistake, and especially if you're a young person trying to start a business, and you might be really into the makeup, but you might not really have a lot of understanding of factories, and you might just assume that if you hire a factory, they're going to do a fantastic job, and they're going to their products are going to be perfect, and they're going to keep a good mind. Look at the factory process is going to be perfection, all this. But I'm just going to use this little rubber smudger just to try and smudge under my eye. But so she might just have had total faith in the factory when she was making her lipsticks, and maybe she should have known better to keep a closer eye. But you know what, people make mistakes, and if you're new, I suppose, to the industry, you can't really be, it's understandable. And maybe she didn't handle the fallout particularly well. Maybe she went in too many excuses, and maybe jumped on people a little bit when they complained, and that was maybe a mistake, but I'm sure she's learned from it. I mean, the other thing as well that I was kind of watching as well was all the things about Nikki tutorials. I think it was amazing that she came out and so bravely, in her video, her coming out video was amazing, and she so brave, and it's a shame that she was somebody forced her hand in that way, but it was brave that she handled it in the way that she did. She was very, very articulate and brave and confident, and I think she did so well. I mean, I follow Nikki a little bit, but I haven't followed her for years like some people have. So, and there was all this stuff about the Too Faced, and people are boycotting Too Faced and all this. Now, I don't know what people think about that, because I mean, I don't know too much about the company politics with Too Faced and how much the sister has involvement with the business. And obviously now the brother is actually taken her off the board and everything because of, I mean, I don't know too much about them. Hold on, sorry. So I'm going to go in with, should I go with I think I might go with Sangre or Velorio. I think I might go with I might go with Sangre actually. Let's see. Let's do a wee swatch. Sangre is that one, and Velorio is, let's just swatch Velorio. Velodo is the more browner one. I think I might go with Sangria. So I think, yeah, I don't really understand too much about the company politics there between the sister and the brother. I always forget their names. Obviously, you guys who are being more involved in the makeup industry probably know much more about them than I do. But don't really know what I'm doing here, to be perfectly honest. I'm just kind of going with it a little bit on the lid here. Yeah, but I'm not so sure about how I feel about people necessarily boycotting the company completely, because, you know, we all have family members who say ludicrous things, and then we're like, okay, fair enough, most of us are not affiliated with a massive brand, but if she's not really that much part of it, or she's been taken off the board because of her actions, surely people should maybe give the brand itself a bit of a second opinion, because a second chance rather, because like, we all have people in our lives that say ridiculous things on social media, and then you're like, oh, for God's sake, like, family members, should it mean that your company should be punished because of your actions of your siblings? I mean, it's hard. And like, I remember watching a discussion with some people about this online, and people were saying that, he's very protective of his sister because she suffered from skin cancer, and apparently it was very difficult for a long time. That, it was quite serious, and she recovered. So, he's going to be a little bit more, I think. Right, I'm going to just probably pause it for a second while I put on some eyeliner. I'm going to do a bit more work to it, I think, in a minute. Right, I'm just going to try and darken it. I've got this thing called, this is by Urban Decay, and this is called the Finger Pro pen eye brush, and it's amazing. It's basically, the theory is, how someone's got a darker swatch or a more pure swatch when you use your finger, and this is, apparently supposed to be like using your finger, and I do actually really like it. It does give a lot of pigmentation, and I'm just going to try and go in with this deep color there to give it a little bit of a, this is a very grunge look. This is a bit of a goth look, this one, I tell you. This would be me and the cat going to the cat house, 1996. Actually looks much darker on the on the camera than it does actually in real life, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's I don't know, just lighting or something like that. I like the blues, and I do like the maroon, but it's coming super dark on camera. I might try and blend it in slightly. Let's see, which brush am I going to use? Maybe just use this one and just try and blend it in slightly. I wonder if I'm just thinking of a pop of, maybe I should do a pop of Calicat as well in the corners, just to brighten it up a bit so it's not too dark. Maybe do a pop of Calicat there in the corners. Maybe the side there. Let's blend it in a wee bit. This one, I honestly, I just use any old brush. I mean, there's some people like, oh, you only use this brush for that, you only use that brush for that one. There we go. So maybe a little pop in the middle. Just to give it a little bit of a gleam. Okay, so finish eye look there. Very grunge girl-tastic. Okay, so that's that one. I'm quite pleased with the Melt Meurte. I think I'll have fun practicing in it. It's obviously a darker palette, so you know it's you know it's very much an evening look palette. I think that's what that one is. But I suppose you could like take some of the colours and build it up with another one. I'm looking to see, is it matching? It looks a lot more matching in the mirror, so I think it's just the way the light's hitting. Anyway, I'm just going to pop maybe a little bit of lip gloss, and that'll be me. Yeah. I like this one. This is the Kevin Aucoin lip gloss, or glass glow lip. Anyway, thanks very much for watching this long video, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.